Hi, my name's Dr. Rob Worrell. I'm a Principal Lecturer in External Engagement at the University of Sunderland. I'm here specifically in Nevasha and Nakuru because I'm doing some work with MIDRIFT Human Rights Network and Dignity Institute Against Torture, the Danish Institute Against Torture, working on a place-based leadership development program. The place-based leadership development comes from my doctoral research, which looked at the experience of participants taking part in place-based collaboratives, and identified that there were a number of tensions and dilemmas that place-based leaders have to work through. We think these tensions are particularly important and also quite difficult to work through for leaders working in the Kenyan context and also working in such a sensitive and difficult area as urban violence prevention. The idea of me coming over was to do a couple of pilot initiatives, which we did last year in Nakuru in October and Nevasha in December. And we carried out a couple of pilot initiatives to find out if my thinking and research was relevant to the violence prevention context. In fact, the two pilots were very successful, and in fact so successful that Dignity and MIDRIFT considered that leadership development, and particularly place-based transformational leadership development, should be part of the ongoing program. So I am going to be working with MIDRIFT Human Rights Network and the Dignity Institute Against Torture for the next 3 years on place-based leadership development, working with cohorts of cross-sector, intersectoral leaders from multiple agencies and from multiple professional backgrounds, working with them to help improve their leadership capability and to support the other projects that are going on. Not only are we carrying out leadership development practice, but this is also part of a fundamental research program where we're making sure we are collecting data at the beginning and the end of every session, so that we can reflect on and understand the leadership development program, how the leadership development program is having an impact. And also we want the participants to own the program, so we're also asking them to share with us the different types of interventions and subjects that they would like to be discussed. Secondly, we also believe that we need to collect additional qualitative data to put together academic and professionally focused reports and articles to promote place-based leadership development and the positive impact it's had, and to showcase the work of Dignity, the MIDRIFT Human Rights Network and Sunderland University work. But sometimes I want to scream. So sometimes we'll be in a meeting and it will be, Dr. So-and-so said this, and it's like, call me Rob. And they say, why do you say call me Rob when you have a title? And I say, first of all, when I was born, my parents gave me a name. And before anything, I am just a human like you. A title means nothing. So if you want to connect with me, call me my name. And because we have certain ways of seeing and certain ways of doing things, we don't always ask the questions that I think we should do. And what I'm inviting you to do is I'm inviting you to become a transformational leader. A transformational leader. Rather than just being an informed or an informative leader. But in order to become a transformational leader, you have to start by looking at yourself. You have to start by looking at yourself. Transformative learning, transformation of someone, is about how you work on yourself. So this is why we've started this focus today. So yes, it is important to have subjects like math. Study yourself in different ways. It actually gives you a sort of freedom. It gives you more self-confidence because you know yourself. And also, it makes you act, it encourages you to act in ways that are aligned to your values. So the other things we'll be talking about today is values. The important thing, if there's one lesson to learn from today, the important thing is not asking questions as a leader of yourself and other people. The same for other people. If people come to you expecting an answer, why don't you ask them a question instead? What happens if I'm always giving people answers? What do you think happens as a leader if you're always giving people answers? What do you think happens before you can give his answers? Sorry?
They will stop thinking.
Yes. As a leader, one of your key roles is to empower people. You empower people by getting them to learn. If you always give answers, two things happen. They stop thinking, and you start to believe in your own infallibility. And you create more stress for yourself. Because if you always have a team where all you do is give answers, you become more of a commander, you become more of a micromanager. And there's a colleague there. It's a great way of finding out what they think and they feel. You could come from a meeting thinking, oh, that meeting was amazing. That person really agreed with me. That person listened to everything I said and agreed that they will give us some funding. And your colleague might say, you know what, you were talking a lot, but you didn't give them a chance to speak. And I think they agreed with you about the funding because they wanted to get out of the room. Why did they want to get out of the room? Because you talked at them and you didn't listen to them. So learning, when we start thinking about things differently and opening ourselves to other perspectives, we can change our mind. It's not to say that we're wrong, it's just to say there's different ways of seeing things. If you have a different way of seeing things, it doesn't mean you are wrong. It just means your interpretation of the truth is different. There is a concept called personal truth. I don't know if you remember from the workshop last time, but this is a very good example. There is a man on a mountaintop. There's a man on the mountaintop and a woman on a mountaintop. The man on the mountaintop is here, the woman on the mountaintop is here. Down below, there is a man chasing a woman. The man who is on the mountaintop sees the man chasing the woman, and he says to his partner on the other mountaintop, I am going to go down and I'm going to chase that woman. I'm going to chase that man and stop him from aggressing that woman. And the woman, who is on the different mountain's top, so has a different perspective, says, excuse me, sir, I know you want to go down and run down the mountain and chase that man and be a hero, but I can see something else. Won't you listen to what I can see before you take action? And he says, no, be quiet. I'm a leader. I see what I can see and I've made my decision. So he goes down the mountaintop and he runs over. And the woman turns around with a handbag and she bashes him in the face. And he comes back, and he says to the woman, what did you see that I didn't? She said, I saw that the woman was laughing. I saw that the woman was laughing. And what he later found out was this man and woman had been met 10 years. And they had their 10th wedding anniversary.